Hey guys, hadn't done a video in a while, but I wanted to rant about the new Star Wars movie. What the heck? So I'm doing. I purposely excluded myself from trying to find out about what the plot was. There was just so much bull crap going around about this and that, and so I kind of went into the movie just thinking about the Force Awakens and what went on with that, and so I went into it fresh. I gotta say, after about the first 10 minutes, I was like, "Yeah, this is going down a pretty ridiculous road." I feel like this movie's been turned over to an evil stepfather. They got George Lucas out of it. Even J.J. Abrams, which when I heard that he was going to be involved in this directly, I was like, yes, J.J. Abrams rocks for the most part. He did the first movie. I loved it. I loved The Force Awakens. I thought it was great. There was some little silly stuff to it. But for the most part, I thought it was going in an absolutely incredible direction. The Last Jedi takes all that and turns it upside down. There were a lot of boring characters. There were a lot of characters that I thought were idiotic and didn't belong in the movie at all. Rose being one of them. The Laura Dern character was terrible. She looked like she was like the madam of some space brothel, and yet she's the commander of the resistance forces after Leia does her little freaking like magical witch trick when she gets sucked out into space. That was ridiculous. That would have been a perfect way for them to kind of get her out of the story. It would have been epic if she died that way. But no, they decided to do something completely moronic with that. I'm not going to spoil. I don't want to try to spoil the movie for anybody. There's a couple things, like I'm not going to tell you about the end. The end was actually decent. But the character development in this movie was absolutely horrendous. They took away, most all the Star Wars movies have the archetypical hero scheme, which means they go back to like Homer's Odyssey and the ancient stories where you had like the heroic figure fighting the overall antagonist, and there's everything kind of leads back to a central point. And that's what made the original trilogy absolutely phenomenal. And that is even elements that the second trilogy had, the prequel trilogy had. This film, The Last Jedi, they took that and did away with that entirely and kind of left you with like head scratching moments that are like just out of nowhere. I honestly, at the end of this movie, I was like, if this is the direction that Star Wars is going, I'm done with it. I'll enjoy the older stuff, which is really where the real magic is anyways. But the newer stuff will be like, I'll just classify that as garbage for the kids to watch, and I won't even be invested in it. The end of this movie like left you with questions that get answered in a completely horrible way. And then, man, for as much money as they have to invest in this movie, the creatures were silly. A lot of them. There were some great moments in the film, some epic moments, but there were the plot was just wrong, man. I mean, they don't. It's hard to describe. If you haven't seen the movie, yeah, obviously everybody's going to see it, and I'm not saying don't go see it. What I'm saying is, Rian Johnson, don't turn this over to him. If that's what he's wanting to do with the franchise, don't do that with him. He is, you can tell, and this is kind of true with all Disney movies, they're trying to be inclusive to certain groups, and it just doesn't work. For a film, it falls short. I mean, there's certain things in film that you need. There's certain aspects that you need in film and to make a good movie. Are you trying to make a good movie? Or are you trying to appeal to another audience, to a special interest audience? And I'm gonna go out there and say it. They were heavy on the trying to push the female leads in this, and that's not a bad thing. Female leads are amazing, but do something good with it, because this was horrible, man. I don't know how to express it. The humor aspect of the movie, they had some funny parts to the movie that I thought were awkward. Quite a few of those. It was almost like they were pushing that down your throat, really, the humor aspects. It's almost like they're trying to take Star Wars and put like a Pirates of the Caribbean like atmosphere in the movie, and to me that's not the kind of thing that I fell in love with. It was almost like the movie itself had some central serious points, but they stayed away from them for the most part. Commander Snoke, what the heck? He's just, it was almost like he was like a false narrative or something. Like he came up and they were bringing him up as something that he absolutely wasn't intended to be ever. So I don't want to spoil it for any of you guys that haven't seen it. But for those of you who have seen it, I would like, if you don't mind, to comment on this and just give your input on this nightmare, man. This is like the most. I'm gonna go ahead and say visually this looked amazing, but it should, because it's 2017 and the technology's there. The cinematography was great. The look of the movie was amazing. The story was stupid. It was ridiculous. It was oversimplified. They really went from point A to point B in the movie, and there was a lot of junk in the middle that was unnecessary for sure, and they could have done a lot better on developing the characters. The characters, obviously the central character is Luke Skywalker, and while Mark Hamill's never been an incredible actor ever, I mean, that's not even in question. He was decent in this. Your main actors are going to be Adam Driver, who plays Kylo Ren. He was great in it. Obviously, Daisy Ridley is great, but her character is useless. For the most part, useless now. There's no tying this thing together, man. It's a mess. Anyways, give me your opinion. I don't care how if you're like completely disagree with me, I want to see why. But if you agree with me, point out some things in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and give me your opinion on this thing, because I'm like, ugh.